Mambo vipi? Niaje.
DNG, it's so good to have you here.
It's a pleasure being here with
The last time tulikuwa tunaongea hata sisi tu, like Funky Flame was saying, COVID was happening. So the last time ukiwa kwa panels ulikuwa pale from the office, sometime from home.
From home, yeah.
Na ukatuambia that something is in the works.
Most def.
And now we've seen it.
Yeah.
Yes, tell us for those who don't know, tikiti ni ya wapi?
So allow me to reintroduce myself.
Come on
My
now.
name is D to the N to the G.
Yeah.
Davidson Gibuini ndo majina kamili. And I'm vying for MCA Woodley Kenyatta Golf Course Ward, which is in Kibra constituency.
Yes.
And I'm not an aspirant anymore. I'm a candidate. Official flag bearer of the UDA party in Woodley. And I'm excited because this is an opportunity to serve the good people of Woodley Kenyatta Golf Course Ward. I'm running on a theory of change. And my slogan ni pamoja tutabadilisha. Naamini ya kwamba change is possible if only we try. A lot of times, young people and the electorate and voters shy away from elections. There's a lot of voter apathy in this country.
Exactly, yeah.
If you look at the nominations across different parties, turnout has been at an all-time low. And we are hoping that as we come closer to the general elections, we'll be able to convince the electorate to come out in large numbers to vote for the change that they seek to see. Because there's a difference between, complaining on Twitter, tweeting and commenting on Facebook, and having kikaos kwenye mtaa. And there's a difference between that and actually putting your voice, where your vote is, and making your vote count.
Yeah. Is it because I know to some extent as we should not blame them wholesale, because again in the past it's been that tunapiga kura alafu sawa, even that person comes anasema yeah then anapotea, or unapiga kura and then kunaibiwo allegedly or unapiga kura and then things happen. And especially for the youth, I think the apathy is greater. So it's a mix. The youth are the largest number, but then again the apathy is mostly among the youth. So you as a youth, what are you promising to change?
You've first given a very good point there, that those that came before us have lied to the electorate.
Yes.
Such that a lot of guys, are doing road shows and they go out there, they give amazing promises. People come out early in the morning, 6, 7 a.m. guys in the cold, queuing, waiting for that polling station or polling center to be opened up so that they can go and vote. But down the line, immediately after somebody is elected, they switch off their phones, wanabadilisha number, wanaingia mitini. Like now in my area, the incumbent has been absent for the last 5 years.
Wow.
4 to 5 years, and sahi ndio anatokelezea juu anajua ground ni mbaya. DNG amechafua mbaya. Na sahi ndio anakaa mtu anamuuliza ni aje, wewe umekuwa wapi? So there's that, and that's a fact. But apart from that, we also have this new generation of voters who are coming in, who've turned 18, who've gotten their IDs, who've just registered to vote, who are still going through voter apathy. So my question would be, who lied to them? Because they were not eligible to vote in the last election. So I feel like there's also that conditioning. Conditioning by our parents, the society, the community, also perhaps a bit of media and social media, that young people have been conditioned to think that there is no good leader. But I beg to say that it's up to us as the electorate. It's up to the young people in this studio and the young people watching on this TV broadcast to know that the choice is in their hands. Yes, if there was a leader that came and lied to them last time, give a chance to a fresh leader for a new start. A new beginning is possible, and young people should not shy away from voting. A lot of times young people say that politics is boring. They'd rather just turn up and have a good time. Election day ni siku ya kupiga mzinga na kuturn up na kudoze na kushikana na mabeshte. But if we do not do that, if we do not come out to vote, in whose hands are we living in this country? The older generation will soon retire. They'll soon be, they'll not be in a capacity to vote. So these young people who have voter apathy today, in the next 5, 10 years, who will be voting,
Right.
who will be participating in civic processes? It's a big question, and it's up to us as young leaders,
Yes.
young guys who are checking into this scene, into the political space, to drum that support amongst our peers.
Why, when you're picking the, where you want to vie and what position, why did you settle on MCA?
I think because I'm pretty new in the political dynamics.
Okay.
Yes, I've participated in political processes before as a campaigner for 2 presidents. Kibaki in 2007, the late, rest in peace. And Uhuru Kenyatta, the Uhuruto team in 2013. In 2017, I did civic action. We deactivate Kura Yako Chaguo Lako, and I set up my own initiatives. Who's your leader? Hustle Yako, just in that youth space. So I feel like this is a very different paradigm because I'm not campaigning for anybody else. I am the candidate.
Right.
And I felt like the issues where I'm trying to tackle, like healthcare, like jobs for our people, under my socioeconomic empowerment banner, community engagement, putting an end to ubaguzi, tribalism in the distribution of resources, things like bursaries being distributed, chini ya maji being sold. Those are such basic issues that we need to tackle that at the ward level first before going to parliament and before perhaps moving on the political ladder. So I have no issue, no qualms with starting at the very bottom of political or elective leadership. In fact, I'm grateful for that because it's immersed me into the community space.
Right.
I've been transversing my ward since June last year. That's about 11 months. I was calculating that with my family the other day as we're just doing a recap. And 11 months I've been in the field, talking to people, transversing markets, estates, youth groups, women groups, wazee, wakongwe, wale wameretire kabisa. Just trying to understand, what are the issues, what are they dealing with, what are the expectations from the area MCA, what do they want to see changed?
Right.
And that's why, as you can see, my campaign has been such a people-driven campaign, and that's the reason for the success that I've been able to achieve so far. That despite me being a young person, an underdog, a new-time entrant, and all these things that have been used against me in the political battle, money included, where the incumbent MC has even tried to infiltrate our party nominations and bribing voters on the election day, which is an election offense, actually. If you come and distribute 500 shillings per voter to vote for his proxy or his project, it's shameful, but we have been able to defeat that by the grace of God and by the favor of men and women in my ward who believe that I stand for change and I'm going to deliver the change that they want to see.
Right.
So it's possible, and I just want to encourage young people out there that it is indeed possible. Let people not be afraid to support a young person because ataenda kupangwa. A lot of people are saying hope usipangwe.
Wanaingia alafu hatuwasikii ama because
they're swallowed by the system.
The system is bigger than the individual. So unazaenda hapo change alafu ukutana na vigogo.
I believe, Willis, that there are different kinds of politicians.
Right.
There are people who get into politics to look for money. There are people who get into politics to clean their money. And there are those who have a vision. And there are those who actually want to do something. So it depends on who you elect. If you elect a guy to go clean his cash, if you elect a guy to go and who wants to go and make money, he'll go and make the money. But if you elect somebody who has a vision, somebody who actually has something tangible coming out of his mouth, then you'll have a very different kind of leader in that area. So I believe that those who are watching this broadcast need to decipher for themselves. Different candidates come to your doorstep, come to your estate, come to your place of work, ask for your support, and it's up to you to validate. It's up to you to decipher and see, okay, huyu nae versus huyu mwingine, heri nani? There's been this adage that in whose hands are we safe? I'd like to say that for the people of Woodley Kenyatta Golf Course Ward, their businesses, their careers, their environment, their estates are safe in my hands because I actually mean well for the community. I've already been doing so many projects in the community. from waiving hospital bills for people. I waived a bill for 2.84 million. Historical stuff. Job linkage I've already commenced on my community platforms using the networks that I have. Sai, a leader is all about how resourceful can you be.
Right.
How many doors can you unlock for your constituents or for your electorate. And I've been tried and tested. I've been at it since June. So Ms. Jakam to last minute kumwagalipo because I want them to understand who I am, where I'm coming from, and what I want to do for them. And ultimately, the decision shall be theirs.
Yes.
You see? And I believe that if no good people vie for elective positions, we'll always be governed by goons, the noisiest bunch, the ones who can pay people to do somersaults in the streets. And beat each other. That is the history of politics in this country.
True.
Being born in Kibra, we've seen the kind of hostile politics we've seen over the years. And I believe the time has now come for change. Everywhere I go in my constituency or in my ward, people are asking, huyu atatufanyia nini? Heri huyu. Si bora kiongozi, tunataka kiongozi bora. You see, so the narrative has changed, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for even those who came before me, to open up the space politically in Kibra constituency that had been locked up in terms of tribe, in terms of political dispensation, in terms of party. And now we have, it's possible for DNG to vie on a UDA ticket in Kibra, in Woodley, and win that. God willing, on the 9th of August, 2022. So I believe that, Willis, we're heading to a very different time in this country. And for those who say that politics is boring, politics ni ya wazee, mazee hamjui ya kwamba politics ndio ina govern kila kitu. Hata au mayouth kwa inje saa hii. Ni venye politics imechange. Ama Willis umesahau tulikuwa na wewe unlock our country just a few months back. I was being reminded by Cyprian Nyakundi the other day that I was one of the only few young personalities who stood up against the state and asking them to unlock our country because hatungeweza kufanya show kama hii.
Yes, ingekuwa ngumu sana.
Watu walikuwa wamepoteza makazi. Some of them
tulikuwa hapa solo,
unable to even revive their businesses. That is politics. So if you elect leaders who do not care about you, who do not care about this city, this country, will always be those guys who tweet and form hashtags on Twitter. Nothing against that, because it's a very elaborate platform to do activism and to advocate for change. But can't we install policy makers in different levels of government, from the county assembly to the national assembly to Senate, who care about this country, who care about the common mwananchi who doesn't have a voice, who doesn't even have bundles to tweet? That's where we need to go, Willis. And I thank you for the platform and the opportunity just to express myself. And I believe that media personalities and media houses need to play their role. Haiwezi kwa tu wazendo na kam kwa hizi show, ama ni aje? Kuna vijana wengi wako na kitu ndani yao imekuwa na Mwenyezi Mungu na wako tayari kukomboa nchi hii. Na mimi ni mmoja wao na niko tayari. Na kuna wengi kama mimi. Kwa hivyo kama wewe ni kijana na una watchisho na uko tayari kupiga kura time ya elections pale August, chagua kijana mwenzako. At least unaona hii kiti ya chini ya MCA na labda hata mbunge ikiwezekana. Chagua kijana. Chagua vijana.
All right, well, of course watu wa Woodley uko na DNG hapa hivi, he's running on a UDA ticket. We wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
And if by God's grace you do win, hii clip tutaiweka. Ukijaribu kucheza tutaichomoa. Tukwambia DNG, nakumbuka ulisema hii.
Kwanza nataka mni hold accountable mazee, na mniweke pressure na mniweke booster ndio niweze kudeliver.
Kabisa.
Na miaka 5 ikirudi sitakam kujintroduce na kuwa na wasomea ripoti kwa jina la Mwenyezi Mungu. Nimesababisha 1 2 3 4 5 15 6 7 nukta. Zaidi yao.
Right.
I missed the mic, bro.
I can see.
Someone told me today, DNG, kama unataka kuwa mheshimiwa usiende show kama 10 over 10. Nikamwambia mazee, juu youth vote.
Kabisa.
Na numbers zinacheza.
Hawajui. Waambie.
Tafadhali tuache kudharau vijana. Vijana msikubali kudharauliwa.
Kabisa.
Unajua sasa msipojitolea kukuja kupiga kura mtakushindwa mkidharauliwa na mkipangwa, msikubali, sawa? Bas. Mjitokeze na sauti yenu isikike, sawa?
Kabisa.
Asante.
Thank you very much, DNG. Make sure you follow DNG Kenya, and we'll be watching, we'll be waiting and to see, and you know, again, like I said, we wish you all the best.
Na mniombe Willis. Mungu mbele.
Mungu mbele.
Hatupangu ingwi.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we return,